Hey everyone. We were having a really interesting discussion in our Facebook group, Dream Client Community, about how we can get really lost in the learning phase in our coaching business. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I feel like it can really hold us back from actually helping people. So if you are a coach and you're just starting, or you're in a program and you just find yourself completely immersed in all of the content, and it's probably something that you feel really comfortable doing. Number one, it's because coaches love to learn and they love to be behind the scenes and do all the things. They like to stay busy because they're very creative, but there comes a time when you have to stop being a sponge and actually put yourself out there. So one of the reason why we started talking about it was I asked a question: what is one thing that's holding you back in your business that you know if you did, your business would move forward? And somebody said, I am just in learning mode and I feel like I completely lost my voice. And I can see how that happens, and that happens a lot because when it's like we're trapped in a room and we just have books surrounding us and content and podcasts and notebooks and all of this stuff, and it's really hard to even see through it because you've piled so many things around you. And so one thing that I like to do when I see this popping up in my life, because we're always learning, a good coach is always learning new things. We're never going to know everything that it takes to grow your business. So we should always be learning, right? But there comes a point when we have to be really responsible with our time, because we're either working with clients and students, we're learning new things to enhance our coaching practices, and we're also balancing family and work and just doing all of the normal things that you have to do in your business, answering emails, doing all the social media stuff, writing blog posts, doing podcast episodes. There's so much involved in keeping this above ground. So when we're, learning something, we kind of go into hiding for a little while because we're learning, right? And it feels like if we're learning and doing all of this other stuff, like our heads are going to explode. And then all of a sudden, nobody hears from you for a few days or a week, and it's because you've been studying or, whatever you've been doing. So I like to take this I like to take my approach to this to balance work, clients, and all of that stuff is I don't learn every day intentionally. I am learning things for my business right now, but I don't go and study every single day because, number one, I don't have the time. And number two, some days are for working with other coaches, or some days are just for doing nothing. So I like to assign particular days where I really will be intentional with learning new content. So I will actually assign a task in my calendar. Usually it's Wednesdays for sure, or it's a daily task in Asana. So if you have Asana, what you can do is you can schedule a task, and then if you click inside it, you can make it recurring. So you can make it recurring daily or every Monday, whatever you want to do. So every single day for one of my programs that I'm in, I have a daily task. Some days I don't do it, some days I do, and I can check it off and it'll go to the next day. But it's really important to know that you don't have to just spend 8 hours a day learning and then everyone is going to forget what you look like, what you sound like, what your work looks like. Like, not everything is at a standstill. It's really important to have that balance. You can't be in learning mode and serving mode at this and pick one or the other. You have to balance them both, because you're always going to be learning. So we have to be okay with the fact that we have to set aside time to learn new strategies and methods and all of the things that it takes for you to be a better coach all the time. But we also have to be in that serving mode as well. So there's a lot of hats we need to wear. So we need to assign little chunks of time where we're putting on those different hats. So another tip that you can do is, when do you best learn? Is it in the morning? Is it in the evening after your kids go to bed? Maybe you need to schedule a block of time for that. I find that evenings after my kids go to bed, sometimes it's nice to just sit in my office, check if anything needs to be responded to, and then I'll just learn a little bit. Or early mornings. Those are kind of my golden times. So we have to notice when our brain is very primed for learning, and a lot of times it's not when all my kids are up and around. It's hard to concentrate. So that's why I do early mornings and nights. So take a look at your day and schedule your learning blocks. Maybe it's not every day, maybe it's a few times a week. That way you have every right to increase your prices. You have every right to ask for whatever price you are asking, because you are always learning. You're not going one or the other. So every quarter, when it's time for you to raise your coaching prices, you can, because you've been learning and you've gained so much more knowledge in the past 3 months. So it's really important to always be learning, but you have to balance it out so you don't lose your voice. And so I challenged that Facebook group member today to show up in her Facebook group, because she said she hadn't done it in so long because she's been stuck in this learning mode, and challenged her to do that because you have people in your Facebook groups, on your social media platforms that are watching you, and they might not interact with your videos or your posts or anything like that, but they're still listening. There's a lot of silent watchers, and when they don't see you, they're going to wonder where you are, and then they might forget that you do what you do because you're not showing up. So we got to show up. Tell people what you're working on. Tell people what you're learning. People love to see that. Don't be afraid to share those parts of your life. It's okay to share with your students and everything that you're learning something new, because that gets them excited. It gets potential students and clients excited when they know that you're learning something that they want to learn, and they want to learn from you. So it's a great thing to have in your business. So don't pick one or the other. That's all I'm trying to say. Have that healthy balance. Pick what works for you, and it's all going to come together really beautifully. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you struggle with balancing the learning and the working, those hats in your business. Let me know if you struggle with those and what you do, if you have any cool techniques you'd like to share. But I will let you guys go, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.